What's up guys, Mark from Wandering Souls, back at you with a new video. Today a response video slash contest entry. This is for Analog Archives, a dude that is on YouTube for about 2 years or something. He reached the milestone not so long ago, and he reached 1,000 subscribers. Well dude, you catch me up. Anyways, congratulations, it's well deserved. Your content is great. Love to watch your videos. I'm not always commenting, but dude, I really like your videos. But it's really straight from the heart, so it's well deserved, so congratulations. If you're not subscribed to it yet, or you don't know his channel, I will leave a link in the description. Please check him out, and if you like this contest as well, just hop on. You can do that with just commenting in the comment section there, or make a video like I do, and then you get even a bonus entry. So you can win, I think, $60 PayPal, and you can spend it the way you want it actually. So yeah, that's always fine, if always cool if you can win something. Not as that my biggest motivation for the video. I just, like I said, in a lot of thread responses and a lot of contest entries, I just love to do these things because it makes you look into your collection and again, and see, I have that one, or I didn't remember that one, but it's also fucking great, and you put it on. Just if you haven't listened to it for a long time, and just put it on, just on the fact you find it back in your collection, you think, hey, I haven't spun that in a while, and you go listen to it, and it's always fun to do. So yeah, I thought let's hop on and answer his questions. He had 4 questions, and he goes pretty far in what he asked, but it's also a challenge then for me, and also for other guys who gonna make a video, and yeah, it gives a bit more depth into it, let's put it that way. So the first question, which is actually in 2 parts, but we'll start off with the first part. Tell me about some of your favorite shows or concerts and why. Well, I have visited a lot of concerts, so I had to dig deep in my memory. But one thing that comes to mind, that was the show in Baruch, Rotterdam. It was a death metal, sort kind of death metal festival that day. They played a lot of cool bands: Pathology, Devarment, Pyrexia. It was a really fantastic band. Fantastic bands. Cranium also played, I think. A lot of great bands, great vibe. I really loved the gigs, especially those of Devorment and Pyrexia. Yeah, it's really fun to watch, and I really enjoyed my time there. And also had the big memory that I could get up on stage on the last track for Pyrexia, Sermon of Mockery, I think it was. Yeah, the band invited all the visitors to come on stage, party with them. So of course I took advantage of that and go on the stage and party along with this great band. I still have some footage of that on my YouTube channel, so if you want to look that up, it's somewhere between the live videos, I think. You can see me enjoy the gig there. It was filmed, so I could show it. It was really fun. I love that gig. It was really great atmosphere, like I said. The bands played fantastic. Had fun with a lot of friends, and yeah, great show. Yeah, that's one that came to mind. The other one was also a sort of mini festival in the same venue, Baruch, Rotterdam. Infected Rain was the headliner that day, and I was really looking forward to see that band from Moldova. Um, One of my favorite bands from the last, let's say, 10 years or so. Um, but they were already there since 2008, I think they exist. So they have a bit of long history, and finally they came around to be on a label and tour. And when they started out, they pretty much played in their own country and some country next to them, and not big tours. But when they got more attention, the ball came rolling, and finally they got a signing deal with Napalm Records, and they have released now 3 albums under that label. So that was fantastic. But I was really looking forward to um, be at that gig. There were a lot of support acts as well that were pretty good as well. But I was looking forward, and I really enjoyed the gig. Talked to some band members from all those bands at that day, and also went on a picture with the singer from Infected Rain, Lena. Fantastic human being, have to say, really nice. Yeah, really friendly person, and so sweet, and yeah, really great memories on that gig, and really fun to interact with all those band members. Also for the in Dust in Mind, I talked with a bit, Kalo Gar, all fantastic people. Yeah, and then a picture with Lena. It was fantastic. It's really in my memory. I really loved that gig. Let's see what we have more. Oh yeah, the first time I saw Iron Maiden live was on the Matter of Life and Death tour. Yeah, pretty late, I have to say, but I could have gone one gig prior to this, which was like 7 years, no longer, I think 1997, 1998, when Blaze Bayley was still the singer, but that yeah, didn't go as planned, so I didn't go to that gig. But finally in 2006 I got the chance to see Iron Maiden live, and it's, well, again with Bruce Dickinson on vocals. Eddie Smith was back in the band. Really fantastic experience. Although they played the whole Metal Life of Death album live, plus some classics, of course. It was a fantastic memory. It was in the Brabanthallen in Den Bosch, I can remember, and I went there with my dad-in-law, and we had a fantastic time. It was a great gig. Later on I saw them live as well on a festival, I think. Yeah, that was fantastic. Fields of Rock, I think I saw them as well in 2006, 7, somewhere in that era. And later on I saw them again on a few other tours as well. So I think I saw Iron Man like 4 or 5 times, so I think 4 times. And the first gig was always in my memory. A really great experience. Yeah, I really love it. Of course, the one thing I also really remember was my very first gig. It was in Ahoy, Rotterdam. I saw Richie Blackmore's Rainbow live in 1995, and that was really a great experience. My brother took me there, and yeah, that was the first time I saw a rock band live, and I really fucking enjoyed it. Fantastic. They just released the Stranger in Us All album, and I really love that album. And of course they play a lot of classics as well, and yeah, it was a fantastic experience for me as a young boy. I was 14 at the time, and yeah, it is a fantastic experience. So that's really in my memory. Another great gig was the first time I saw Last Days of Humanity live in the year 2001, I think. Just after, not shortly after, I think year after they released the second album, Hymns of the Digestible Separation. You got Mark Palmer on drums, a fantastic drummer by the way, really great drummer. The singers already switched. I think Boris was the vocalist at that point, and the guy can growl and is a beast on the stage as well. That guy was really the best singer in my opinion. The last days of humanity had was Boris. That's in my opinion. But I really fucking love that gig. Also got to hang out with the band before the gig. We talked to the guitar player and the bass player at that point, William and Erwin. Two fantastic guys. Sadly they are not in the band anymore, but they were really fantastic dudes. And also got to hang out with the band after the gig. We went to a restaurant with them and had some food and stuff, and talked again with William and Erwin and Mark. And yeah, it was really fun. Great experience. Yeah, going out like that with a band, it's not something you do with the gig. Go out to eat with them. Really funny, but it was fantastic experience, and the gig was fantastic. Like I said, the first time I saw them live. Later on I've seen them again with Erwin on vocals. No, not the same Erwin, all the dude that called Erwin. That was a great gig as well, but it couldn't beat the first gig I saw with them. Fantastic gig it was. Another great gig in my memory is the first time I saw Draconian live, also in the Baruch, Rotterdam. Yeah, it was a band I always wanted to see live, and especially when Heike joined the band. She brought so much melancholy to the death doom goth metal sound they have, and her voice really fitted the sound the band had at that point. And yeah, I saw the band perform live. They just released Sovran, I think. Was that correct? Or did they? Yeah, they already released a new one, the last one I think. But it was phenomenal gig. Yeah, it was a great experience. Fantastic band from Sweden. If you're not familiar with them and you like death doom, goth doom, go check them out. Male growler, female vocals, melancholic riffs, and yeah, you drown away in their melancholy. It's really good stuff. So sad also that Heike left the band. Not that it's Lisa is bad. Lisa is bad because Lisa is back in the band. She was before Heike in the band also. Anyways, fantastic band, great experience. Let's just jump on to the second part before it becomes too long. We're already 30 minutes in, and we're just at question 1A. 1B. Tell me about something eventful, shows or concerts, and of course why. The first thing I want to mention, that was at the Stonehenge Festival in Steenwijk, the Netherlands. The first time I saw, I can't recall which year exactly it was, but one of the earlier ones I went. I a regular since 2004 on that festival. When I saw a guy in a wheelchair going crowd surf, and then I mean with the wheelchair and all, so he got lift up and he went through the public with wheelchair and the dude in the chair. Really weird experience. Never have seen that in the many gigs I have seen. I never saw a guy in a wheelchair crowd surfing, so it was really thought, well, that also can happen probably. Yeah, it's really fun to see, but the guy really enjoyed, and all the guys who held him high really took effort with all the power to keep him up, and it went on for pretty well, at least for 1.5 song or something. So you, you put a lot of power into it. But the guy had a great time, and I think for him it was a fantastic experience as well. And of course, scared to fall probably, but they held them nicely down as well, so it all went well. But it's really strange to see if you see a wheelchair going. Yeah, it was really cool to see. Then something completely different. It's one of the weirdest things and combinations of gigs I have seen. Were two Dutch bands in a venue called Podium in Hogeveen. Autumn was playing there. Autumn was a Dutch goth band there no more. It had another singer and changed directions a bit. But they had to open up. They had a band called Chablis, and Chablis was not really fitting, in my opinion, the bill there. They had a really own sound, and they were really into it. But yeah, I don't want to offend those girl and guys, but it came at that time a bit funny on the public. I still can remember that a lot of people thought, what the fuck is this? And yeah, it's really weird music compared to Autumn. And I remember when I went to the hallway just to go to the toilet, I saw people there laughing on the ground because of that band. They thought that was that bad and that funny. They couldn't stop laughing, and it kind of really weird to see the people laughing at a band in such great way. It must have been offending to the band as well. I can imagine that if you see that something people are laughing at you, that in the bad way, that you don't feel welcome on the stage. They finished the gig though. They stood out well, and it was not my cup of tea, that I have to say. It's not my music. But it's kind of weird to see people laughing that hard for a band that was playing. It's kind of embarrassing actually when I think back of it. When I see something like this happen now, I don't know what I will do, but I think I don't laugh at bands that easily, and I think I would be embarrassed too if a band gets bashed like that. I don't know, but in that day it was a really weird experience. You wouldn't expect it. After that, Autumn came up, of course, and they fucking killed it. It's back in the day where they still had Nienke de Jong on vocals. In my opinion, vocal wise, they are a bit equally the new and the old singer, but I think performance, I think Nienke was the better person. Also with talking to the audience and stuff like that, more interaction, and there were things going wrong. I remember the thing that the microphone stand from the guitar player, I think, it wasn't working or whatever, and she got fed up it and just throw the thing away, and then don't fucking use it if it doesn't work. So something like that it was. But the gig itself, it was a fantastic experience. The band played very well. They had the first 2 albums out. Then I think after that they released only 1 album with Nienke, and then she left the band, and with the new singer they released 2 albums, I think, maybe 3, I don't know. I don't follow them that much anymore, They don't release a lot lately, so they're still active though. But yeah, it was a really weird day, but yeah, like I said, I was glad to see Autumn. They performed really well. Another weird experience was in the 90s, I think. I can remember it was a death metal and black metal bands playing that day in a local youth center called Electra in Sliedrecht, the Netherlands. I remember a dude in a white Immortal shirt from Battles in the North, and I know the guy. He's a really relaxed guy normally, really friendly. Only he's a beast if he is in front of a stage headbanging like crazy. But I can remember him going out. There was something happening there with his then girlfriend, I think. They are not longer together, by the way, for years. But I remember he going out from us. Okay, whatever. We just went on watching gigs and drinking beer and whatever. But I can remember coming him back into the youth center, and I remember his shirt was white. But when he came back, I've never seen such a bloody shirt, and it just was really relaxed, saying, "Yes, well, it's not my blood." But it was a really weird experience. Normally there was not a lot happening fighting wise in that gig. I don't know what went wrong, but the normal guy, he was really quite easy going person. Getting so outrageous probably. He just beat the crap out of the other dude. Yeah, there must have been police with that after that. I can't imagine leaving that, or he has to be hurt very well. Anyway, that he was bleeding a lot, and all that blood on that white Immortal shirt. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's something you don't expect on an evening like that, but it's easygoing, great music and have fun, and then you come someone in with such a bloody shirt. It's kinda weird, but yeah, that's how it is. Weird experience. And then I recall the Stonehenge Festival in 2016, again, which should have been a great festival, and Stonehenge normally is a great festival. But I can remember the weather was really, really shitty that day. It was so bad that they halfway the festival they cancelled the whole festival. So all the big bands that were gonna play were not gonna play because the weather was so bad. It was actually fucking dangerous because everything get wet, all the speakers, so they tried to cover up a lot of stuff, but we also saw the merch stands just going up just because of the wind that was. It was so much wind, there was so much rain at that point. It was really fucking ridiculously, and it was almost really dangerous, so they cancelled the whole festival. And yeah, it was really weird. Normally I go to that festival by train, but that day I didn't do that for some kind of reason. But I was really glad that I was with the car. Otherwise I wouldn't got home that day because it was the trains were not not going anywhere, the buses weren't going anywhere, the festival, everything got closed, so we couldn't get in. They got to secure all the stuff, of course, and what is, yeah, to be expected, and everybody got out through the emergency exit, and yeah, it's a really weird experience. So I went home by car, and luckily I was in car, otherwise I couldn't get home. But it's a really weird experience by such bad weather. I never experienced that at a festival or a concert at all. um, so yeah, I can remember that a couple of years prior to that there was a festival called Pukkelpop in Belgium, I think. I saw really also really weird things on the television. They canceled that festival as well that day probably, and it was also really bad. There was even some people hurt on that festival, I think, back in the day. And yeah, I wouldn't imagine that happened in the Netherlands, but it happened. Um, yeah, the festival was really weird, and that day, and yeah, I'm glad I survived, of course, but yeah, I hope I don't experience that again. Of course, it's uh, sad for the money investment, but I think I don't complain about that, because next the year after that, you could use the coins to pay again. So yeah, the ticket was still. You can use the tickets, and they also organize an extra special inside event in another venue. It was a festival which was fantastic, by the way. Still have some footage of that Stonehenge indoor on my channel. Fantastic day as well. So they kind of make up for that, and I got a kind of bit irritated by also some people that went on complaining on fora and internet afterwards, because gewoon just you could have let it go, or and going on and blah blah blah. Sell my money, want my money back, and I almost got furious at that sort of comments. The guys did everything to get everyone safe, because the festival was really getting dangerous, and I saw people complaining, and that I thought, where are you with your mind? Do you want people to die, or what is it? And I think those people, they should have kicked those people out and don't come in anytime again. But I don't know, it's really ridiculous saying words like that on a festival that was really dangerous. And I think the organization did the right thing at that point, just to cancel the festival for the rest of the day. Otherwise, yeah, I don't know what happened if the festival was going on. Probably the speakers and everything got got damaged probably, and then everything got destroyed. No, I don't want to think about that. Um, it was already a disaster for the organization, just because it costed a lot of money, and to get all the bands out there. They organized the festival with a lot of great international bands for such prices like 25 euros or something like that. You get like 20 bands or something, and a lot of them are from foreign countries as well, so, and big names even. So I don't know why people complain, and I want my money back. Those 20 fucking euros, come on fuckers. So anyways, for my frustration for now. So yeah, there are things that came in my mind quickly. Of course, there were a lot of more stuff could have think of, but yeah, don't want to stretch the video out too long, because it's already getting long. So let's get over to the next question. Hopefully that's okay with you dudes and girls and everyone who's watching. Question number 2: other music you listen to besides metal, and show some examples. I listen a lot of metal, of course. Metal is my main thing. I'm lot into extreme metal, so black metal, death metal, doom metal, thrash metal. But I also like a lot of other heavy metals, heavy metal, power metal, like almost every kind of metal. There are some people that hate some certain genres in metal, but I don't actually really. Of course, I have my preferences, but in every genre I find one or more bands that I like. So I don't dislike any metal genres. Like pretty much everything, even the metal mixes like metalcore and deathcore, and stuff like that, grindcore, you know, crossover, whatever. But besides metal, I listen to a lot of stuff. Just giving some examples, stuff like David Bowie, for example. We like to listen to that kind of stuff, or some classic rock, hard rock, for example, like AC/DC, or Van Halen. Yeah, I don't call that metal bands, by the way. Yeah, you might think otherwise, but yeah. Classic rock like Led Zeppelin, for example, or even I like Europe, just to make it diverse. I like some prog rock, for example, Rush, or Yes, or symphonic rock, or mixture of rock. Saga from Canada, I really like. Fantastic stuff. But also like, for example, punk rock. Just name one band here, Ramones. Just name one. I like a lot of bands, punk bands. Or post-punk like The Cure, or Joy Division. Also like, yeah, you wouldn't expect that from me, right? But I like it. Stuff like Depeche Mode. I really like that darker sound, synth wave. Or the later work from Over. They started out as a black metal band, but later on became more in the vein of Depeche Mode. And this is a fantastic album, by the way. One of my favorites from that year. I even like some pop music. Norwegian singer Sigrid. I love her work. Since I discovered her, both albums, I've also got the second one. Great stuff. Yeah, you wouldn't expect that from me, but I like some pop music, or indie pop like Cigarettes After Sex. Yeah, really something different, a more darker side of pop music, but I think it's really good. So that's just a few examples. I could go on forever, but I don't want the video in 1 hour. So just some samples. I also like some jazz even. I think I have a jazz record in my collection. Not, I don't like a lot of jazz, but this woman, I think, if I can find it. This woman, for example, Friedeline, I think she's amazing, and just that is a jazz singer. So yeah, you wouldn't expect that, right? But yeah, metalheads also like other music. I can't imagine there's not a metalhead that only listens to metal. I can't imagine that. You have music for every style, for every mood, I think, and yeah, metal delivers for a lot of moods, I have to say, but sometimes I'm not in the mood for metal, and then grab stuff like that. Over to question number 3. Some records you like, but actually are bad. Yeah, that's what is bad, you know. What is bad that a lot of other people say they don't like, or they don't sound good, or I don't know. That could be a lot of things. But just in my thoughts, a lot of people think this album is crap by Van Halen 3. I think it's not a bad album. I really like some tunes on here. I think it's not the best album. I agree, but I don't dislike this album. I know people that really dislike this one. I'm not one of those. So, and a lot of people don't seem to like Turbo from Judas Priest. I know people who like it, but I also know a lot of people who don't like it. They used all synths and stuff like that. Yeah, for a heavy metal band, they think it's really strange, but they just wanted to experiment. And you know, it's halfway the 80s. A lot of bands experimented with that kind of stuff. Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time, had a lot of guitar synths on that, but that's a fantastic album. Nobody complains about that, but you please use guitar synths and they complain. Sorry, there are not every song is the best, but there are some good tracks on here. Turbo Lover, could be doubt on that, but Locked In, Private Property, Out in the Cold is fantastic. It's probably my favorite on this, but it's not a bad album. Definitely not. And a lot of people shit on it, but I don't think it's bad. So that's my answer to your question. I could probably pick some more, but then I have to dive a bit longer into it. The collection. I don't have a lot of albums people think are bad. I might have a few, but it's just a matter of taste, I think. And like I said, what is bad, you know? And the last question: what else do you collect, or other hobbies you have besides music or metal, or how you want to call it? I used to collect DVDs, horror movies, for especially a lot of other film movies as well. I stopped collecting actually. I sometimes buy here and there some stuff, but not that much anymore like I used to. I love to watch horror movies, but most of the time when I watch a movie at home, I stream the movies. I still watch sometimes some movies on DVD or Blu-ray that I still have, but most of the time I stream it, especially if I don't have it. I also reduced my collection a bit when I moved to another place, just to get more space. And yeah, sometimes you have seen movies and a couple of times you think, I don't think I'm gonna watch that anymore. So I come a certain point that I got rid of some stuff. I still have some classic stuff there, or else things like Hellraiser, Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff like that. I still have in my collection. Halloween, also classic movies like Shawshank Redemption, I really like. I still have that, and Matrix, stuff like that. But I just got a lot of less movies, but I used to collect them. Same counts for comics. I really love to read comics. I don't have any comics anymore. I stopped reading, so I stopped collecting. And yeah, you know, it can use the space for music, for example. That's because that's my biggest hobby. And what do I have more? Also use the game a lot, so I also collected a lot of games on PS4, but I also had a PS3 and a 2 and a 1 back in the day. Super Nintendo, Atari, but I only now have some games for PS4, and I still play them sometimes still, but the older stuff I don't have anymore, only PS4. I don't really collect, or sometimes I buy a new game. If I'm interested in a certain game, I want to try it, I buy it and I play it. But it's not like I'm gaming a lot at the recent years. I don't game that much, so I think I have to collect games. So also get a bit less, but I still have some games like a row like that, something like that. PS4. and PS4 is called PlayStation, but you guys already know that probably. I also like to read books, horror books, or detectives, or thrillers, or sci-fi, or fantasy, just stuff like that. Here and there, Roman, more normal literature, and of course music books and stuff like that. I collect here and there some stuff, but not mega closets with books. No, not heavy collectible. Um, of course, other hobbies. Well, I like to walk outside, just get a fresh air and get on my health a bit better, make my health a bit better, and a lot enjoy nature and stuff like that. Also like to travel when I can. Sadly, I don't travel that much. That would, in a way, what I should want to like to travel, but yeah, also life, and it costs money, and life is expensive enough. And if I get the chance, I travel, of course, but at least every couple of years, a holiday in a foreign country, that would be fine. And sometimes here and there a city trip in between, just something like that. But I love to travel, and I want to do that more, but I want to look into that, how I can save up better for that. But yeah, maybe I should buy less music. But no, it's expensive, it's getting more expensive, life itself, but also times will change. Tickets got flight tickets were getting cheaper, but with this nature things going on, I think there will be taxes that the tickets will go up again, so it will be more expensive. Yeah, I love to be on YouTube. It's another hobby. Of course, I upload videos myself as well, so I love making videos for you guys. I also have joy from it for myself, like this contrast entry, for example. Anyways, just a few things. When I was younger, I also like to draw, but I don't do that a lot anymore. I just used to write poems as well, but that's also something from my teen years. And also got involved in bands like that, and wrote lyrics back in the day. Like I said, I don't have a lot of music bands projects at the moment, so I don't do that a lot lately. So yeah, here and there is some stuff in the works, but I'm not really have the big time for being in a band, or have a project at the moment. I have some, like I said, I still have some things that have to be finished, but yeah, if it's not finished, I'm not gonna talk about anything about that, and I will leave it with that. Had some fun in the past with music in bands and projects, and yeah, like I said, times change, and yeah, life as well, and sometimes you have to choose, right? But I love to do some music in the future again. That was really, I love making music, being creative, and I used to play drums, and do also some vocals in other projects, and yeah, here and there I got some electronic projects as well, keyboards and samples and stuff like that also. But yeah, I don't do that a lot anymore, a lot lately anymore. But maybe I should finish a project that's still lying in, in the music program. But yeah, you never know what the future brings. When I find the time, and maybe I do something like that again, but not in the near future. Let's put it that way. Kind of busy with work, life, YouTube, and other things around all those things, and yeah, and of course, besides music, well, it's music related. I love to go to gigs, festivals and things like that. But like I said, it was besides music, so actually is that not answering the question. So that's my entry. Hope you like it, Mr. Analog Archives. Go check out his channel. If you like this contest, just hop on yourself. Like I said, you can do it with a comment in the comment section of that video. I will leave the link to the video as well in the description, so you can watch that video and see what it's all about. And if you make a video, you get a bonus entry, but let them know that you made one video, otherwise you never notice probably. So also mention that in the comment section. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed my entry. Thank you all for watching and having the patience with me talking almost 15 minutes in this contest entry. It was a bit too long, but yeah, I could edit probably a bit, but yeah, don't gonna add too much, otherwise I have to fill in the questions. So sorry if it took so long, but hope you don't mind, guys. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Go subscribe to Analog Archives, and if you like my content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. I would really appreciate it. And see you guys with the next video. Cheers.